And I would like my best friend to introduce my best friend. Like, what the hell, Summer? Everybody's your best friend. No, you guys, I have very few best friends. And one's going to introduce the other. There you go. The two best men in my connections community. The top two. Literally, the top two. Richard, go.
So, knowing Jean-Luc the past few years in Summer's group, he's a man of great integrity and he believes in community. And I think so many important people so what's important out there is many people struggle. And yet something that he has generated and created very intentionally with the type of people that represent his quality, with a list of friends that any one of them he can go to in a moment's notice. That's a hell of a tribute to this guy. I get the pleasure of talking with John every Saturday at my listening circle, and he always comes in with great insights and great compassion. And he's lived his own truth. When cancer struck, he took charge, he took responsibility, and he did whatever it took to move through it, because this was his problem, not someone else's. And he knows how to solve people's problems. He knows how to uncover people's limitations with his wheel or flower of life. Sorry if I mispronounced that, Jean-Luc, but it's when he talks, though, he has walked this talk. He has done this himself. He's not a coach because he learned a skill set and he's trying to carry it around and apply it. This is who he is. This is who he is to his children, to his grandchildren, to his two dogs. Just an incredible human being. Tough as nails. I always say, take a street fighter and have him become a preacher. Doesn't mean he can't step out back and knock your teeth out. This is Jean-Luc. Take it away, John.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wait, before you do, let me tell you one thing. Jean-Luc makes me laugh every single time. And every single time I have this rage of doing something, he's the person that calms me down. So normally he's the co-host, but today he's been extremely busy. And the next 2 days he's busy. But he's there to keep me calm. And we connect every single week. He's the co-host at Connections. Those who come there, you know him. He's the guy behind the keep all the breakout sessions clean and stuff. And I am so looking forward to see this person in person in a month, and I can't wait for that. So thank you for being a really, really powerful addition in my life, Jean-Luc. Now you can take it away.
Yeah, thank you. So I'll be helping co-host on Thursday. Yeah, it's been a crazy week. So now I'm all confused. And I only have 20 minutes to cram a bunch of stuff I want to share with you guys and open your minds and get some questions. So I have a pen and paper ready, or just use the chat. We'll have some questions. And now with this beautiful introduction, I feel special. So I got to regroup here for a second. So let me share some slides with you guys. And let's see here if I can start this. Now I'm all okay from the beginning. So you should be able to see this. So create the life of your dreams. So that was the topic for today. And the name of my business is Blueprint. Oh, it's going back fast. So Blueprint for a Piece of Life. Like I said, Jean-Luc Allaire is my name. I live in West Canada, so I'm in Edmonton, Alberta. And the question asks, are you at the right place? So if you're questioning your purpose, and if you start questioning, what am I doing? What's the rest of my life going to be? Is that all there is? You are at the right place. And I work mostly with women over 40 that have started to question, especially after 50 when the kids are growing up. And the question, what does it mean to be me? So there's a puzzle that you got to figure out. And that's when I come in to help you find those pieces that belong to you. So to me, we'll talk about two things, the passion and the vision. So basically, you'll be asking yourself, I don't know why my slides are jumping ahead. What's my purpose? This can't be all there is, right? So that's why we start looking and questioning, and that's when I come in. So the question is there something that you don't have that you like to have in your values, like courage, respect, authenticity, like to be authentic when you speak to people, resilience, like when the storms of life happen, how strong are you? Are you the one that goes in the corner and just sits there and just quiver, or you're the one that stands up and say, okay, how can we fix this? Gratitude, do you live with gratitude, right? Or do you want more? The integrity, the compassion, the growth, accountability, and much more. So we start looking at this. What is it you want from your life? And we'll start with passion. So I'll show you the picture here just to kind of get your brain going. What are your passions? So usually people think you have to have one passion, but we'll talk about this later. There's more than one. So are you kind of somebody that loves to cook healthy food? You're into sports? Are you a yoga person that loves to do yoga? Are you an animal person? There's my oldest dog right here. Are you a traveling or bike person? So what we're going to do for a second, I want to explain to you what passions are. Like a lot of stuff that we pick up from when we were a kid, like in my age group, when you were a kid, your parents tried to get you to be a lawyer or a doctor. That's the old style. So, but a lot of kids pick that up. And then you might have some siblings that are cool. Then you try to be like them. So you pick up some of their stuff. And then teenage is when you're most affected, right? The cool kids, you try to be like them. If they love something, you try to be part of it. And then when you become adult and you start dating, then you morph into what you think the person that you're attracted to would want. And then a lot of us become parents. Then you're at the mercy of the kids. Like some people never played soccer, hate soccer. All of a sudden you're a soccer parent or you're a hockey parent. And this takes over your life. And then at one point, when this kind of slows down, you say, okay, why am I doing this? I don't like this. I don't, so when I come in, it's like, we sort that out. And it's not black and white, because you're going to say, okay, what are the things that you like and the things you don't like? Because either your partner loved it and you want to be agreeable, but at one point, enough is enough. And you'll decide. And you got to remember, it's important. It's similar to limiting beliefs. They're in the same realm, but they're different. So some of it will help with the limiting belief when we do the work, because you remove the passion that don't belong to you. And why do I say it's not black and white? Because there's our gray area. One of my friends loves camping, but only with her husband. Why? Because her husband takes care of everything. So when she goes camping with him, she can enjoy nature. She can enjoy whatever is going to be there. She does not take care of everything. Would she go with friends? No. So this is like that's what I call a gray area. What is it that you really don't like that you can say no to and remove from your life? And the things that you've forgotten or left aside because of kids or because of whatever life brought, we bring that back. And that's what's going to fuel the vision. So that's why we question, what are your passion now? That's why you got to write them down a little bit. It's a lot more work than what I'm saying here, but I only got 20 minutes. So I'm going to try to help you as much as I can. So that's why I got some pictures, just to kind of click your brain a little bit, and then see what else we got. So what is your passion? Like, we'll start with one passion, but we'll go a bit further with this. Are you a person that loves to go to the beach, or you're a person that loves to go in the wood? And what I like you to do in all this too, like when you look at the horses, look at the mountains, or going south, like in these beautiful beaches, like when you go on holidays or just travel, just stop for a second and feel the senses. Like I love horses, and I can smell them, like touch them. What does it feel like? When I go in the woods, the sounds I hear, like all the birds and the squirrels, you can tell squirrels, they're always screaming, especially when you got little dogs, they kind of trying to bug the dogs. What do you sense? Take a minute, and what is it that attracts you? What is the one that's most attractive to you? Just write some down. What? And then we'll keep going here. If you can put them in the chat, we can see it. That'd be nice. But at least write them for you. What is the one that really, when you open your eyes in the morning, that you would be attracted to right now? And then we look again at what is your dream home? So we're still in the passion, but kind of move away a little bit, just more concrete. Are you an apartment person, right? You don't want to take care of anything. You just want to be there and enjoy the home. But or are you a house person that loves to have flowers, loves to have garden, loves to have a backyard with a barbecue? Or you're a cottage person? Or with some people, they live away, they move around, either RV or different places they move. Is that your style? Right? So again, feel the senses. To me, I'm a home person. I love my flowers, I love my garden. Or what are your dream activities? Right? To me, I love motorbikes. I love cooking. And I take my dogs out in trails and woods, and then canoeing with the bigger dogs that we used to have. Skiing is one of them. Like there's a million, I could have put tons there, but what are yours? What gets you going when you know Saturday's coming or Sunday and you got this activity planning, you're so excited? That's how we define them. How excited are you? And how can you start living more of that every day? And that's what we worked on. When you define your passion, when you define what you love, then you fuel those activities, you fuel that vision of things you want to do. So when you have that and you can connect them, basically what I call living your life on fire. And I love this picture of this guy here that's on fire. It's like, right? So to me, like to live fire, I love food, but I've learned over the years to cook good food for me, for my body. And then activities to me, like if you go play in the mud, you got me. Like a little boy in me just can't get enough of mud. So it's to find your true passion, your purpose, right? If you're feeling lost and disempowered, you have to rediscover all these so you can rekindle your purpose. and see a new possibility to bring the dreams into reality. So the passion is the fuel, again, that lights your fire so that when you wake up in the morning, you just jump out of bed. Well, I don't, because I'm like a diesel. But I wake up pretty happy, but I'll just, I have to hit the water in my face. So yeah, but I'm still happy, even though I don't look at it. It's like, but yeah, so that's what we do. So when you start looking to vision, so it's very important to reflect. It's very important that you stop and decide, okay, what worked in my life? If I'm 50, if I'm 40, or if I'm 70, I had some clients 72, what worked in my life that made me happy and what did not work? So it's important to stop and do this. It's like, okay, I want more of this. I don't want any more of this. Like, it's like if you've been divorced and you have a bad relationship, like, yeah, you don't want that no more. So what do you do about it? So you have to do the homework. If there's part of your life that are great, okay, let's keep that. Let's build on that. Let's take that up with us. And then you start working on what you want. And I'll try to go a little faster to show you more of what it means. And to me, I'll share again. I use a GPS. The GPS, to me, when I create vision, I help people talking about the GPS. The GPS is funny because, well, in the old days we had to enter, but now with cars, when you start a car, it already knows what it is. So from A to B, so when the car starts, you know where A is. It's right here, right now. And you got to enter where you want to go. So that's B. But to me, like, life is like a GPS, should be like a GPS, let me say. Because when you enter the data and you start driving, if there's construction or an accident stuff, the GPS is not going to get mad. My dad just get mad, turn around, go home. It's too much. But no, the GPS will say, recalculate. Yeah, there'll be a detour and it might be more scenery, a little bit longer, but that's what a GPS does. So when you plan your vision, like I always say, plan it in jello. What it means, like, when you plan, like, by the time I'm done with my clients, they're 10 years vision. And I say jello because you're going to have a vision of where you want to be in all areas of your life. And it'll be very close to that. The colors might be different. Like, the house might not be blue, it might be yellow, or the car could be red instead of black, but you create these pictures in your head, and the GPS is very, very important. And I'll just share here my client, I call her my Harry Potter, and that's why I share with her. I have a Harry Potter wand. She had things happen to her by just start working with managing your thoughts and power of the word, and I'll just help that. What she wrote in red, it's just, I don't want to spend too much time. It helps you focus on your wishes. You start seeing them coming to life. In my case, it was getting a totally unexpected buyer for my current apartment, which was in Morocco when she lived in Toronto, without telling anybody except doing the work, and which allows to buy the idle property, all before I announced it that it was for sale. Jean-Luc doesn't hold back, generous with the advice. So once that happened, which at the beginning that we were working together, it changed her view. Like, when we talk about the law of attraction, she kind of did not believe it. But after that, it was so powerful that she became like a magician. So everything, she started lining up her vision and understanding what she had to do. And that's why now I call her my Harry Potter. And I got the little wand, the Harry Potter wand, because she understood that power and took it. So to me, that's very, very powerful. So right now, I'll tell you a little bit about me because, who's this guy? And most people know me. I don't hold anything back. So in my 20s, there's a lot of things that happened. I divorced, I had young kids. I went bankrupt in my business. So I had to switch around, and I started learning power of the word, managing your thoughts, and I became a master Reiki. And as I was doing all this stuff, there was no work. So I decided, let's do a move. And I was broke. I had no money. I had to borrow a credit card and drove across Canada to Edmonton for work. So that was in 1998. So I wrote myself, because of all the stuff I teach, I wrote myself a check for $1 million. Put it in my pocket. I was broke. So it's like, you can't change that check right now. So knowing all the tools, that's what I did. That was a process to it. And then I drove across, and I had to sleep on somebody's floor. Good thing I had my sleeping bag and my pillow, but that's how I started. And then 13 years later, I was a construction manager, very successful and well-known in the oil field in Alberta. And so I kept learning and kept trying to get better. And part of learning in the corporate world, they would send me to a lot of course, but I also traveled the world learning to fix me. I was not trying to be a coach. I was trying to fix me, being French Canadian. The Canadian will know what that means, the bad temper and all that stuff. So I had a lot of work to do. So that was very, very fun. So I traveled the world and met a lot of nice people. Like, I did some stuff in Geneva, in Mexico, and all over the States. And then I got a ton of accreditation of all different courses I took. And okay, let's get right here. So yeah, all kinds of, this thing is not working the way it's supposed to. Okay. So a lot of accreditation, a lot of whatever you see it. So then after, okay, we got a problem here and hopefully it's fixed. So in 2017, I went through the cancer adventure. As you can see here, it was quite interesting. And you can see me doing prayers and stuff as I work with them to really understand the power I had to heal myself. And that's why I work with emotional healing. So then after that, I retired construction, decided I'm going to share this and start speaking. And now we go into the part where I like to talk about where there's 4 pillars and my thing is going on its own and it's got a mind of its own. Oh my God, the 4 pillars. And why is it going this? Like summer, I'm going to need some help. But anyway, so passion.
I don't know what to do.
I don't know either. So it's like, let's put a stop here. There you go. Why are you doing this? I don't understand. Wow, you gotta love when things it just keeps going. It won't stop. No, okay.
Keep talking through this.
Yeah, the 4 pillars of life. So, like, you know, there's the thing I talked about was the passion, the vision, managing your thoughts, and power of the word are very important. But then you got your personal, spiritual, health, career. And now we're going to take a break from this thing because it's driving me crazy. So basically, when we talk about passion, I just guided you to find one. But the thing is, when we start working through managing your thoughts and power of the word, like the 4 pillars, the thing is you have to have your health. So you have to have some passion and some vision about your health. What are you going to do about it? And you got to have your personal, which is everything external to you, your spiritual, which is everything internal. What's inside of you that is really who you are inside. And then we have the career. Where's your money coming from? So those are the 4 steps that we have to take to really create a vision, to find the passion that will drive these, not just the one area, but all areas. Like I was a construction manager. I worked 14 hours a day. I used to do 24 days straight. It was not balanced. It was like, I loved it, but it was not really balanced. And that's why we have to rebalance everything. And when you start working on this and finding your passion, then it's easier to fuel the right places. It's easier to find the time for what you love and what you do, because you start to realize you have to balance your life. And that's very important. And let's see what else I got here. I mean, how much time I lost time. I lost track of time.
You have about 4 or 5 minutes.
Jeez. Okay, I knew it.
And somebody in the chat just said, your slides just want to dance. Let it dance.
Yeah, so I worked the pyramid, right? The pyramid to me is a big thing. When I was in Cairo, I hugged the big pyramid. You look at a pyramid that's over 5,000 years old, that weighed millions of tons. You know the foundation had to be really strong, right? So to me, when I start working, we find your passion. We defined a lot of stuff. The purpose and passion to me are your foundation. This is where it has to be the strongest to be able to build that pyramid. So you manage your thoughts and power of the words, start supporting what you want, and then you have your strong vision that it's fueled by the bottom. And at the end, the result is a dream life. It's usually what I call the peace and joy. When you can sit down, you have that peace that comes over you because everything is the way it's supposed to be. You just love it. It's a feeling that you can't even explain to anybody. So that's why, to me, it's important to create the vision, to really, I call it the anchor. So that's the anchor that you put there. So when you go through the storm of life, that anchor will guide you, because a lot of people say, well, one go trail, keep walking. But if you're going in circle, you're going to be there a long time. Or if you're going the wrong way, same thing. But if you have an anchor and I use the rope as purpose, then you know where you're going. You're going to go through, I call it storms of life, but you know which way you got to keep going to get out of it and make it. I'm going to skip over another. This was unbelievable. But the question you should ask you, what is your ultimate vision, right? What is it that you can see now or cannot see? Is it balance? Like in my case, it was not balance. What does your ultimate day look like? That's one thing I love to do. Like when you look, what would be the perfect day for you? You wake up one morning, what would be the perfect day, right? And I love this. So to me, so you're living yesterday's decision. If you want a better tomorrow, make better decisions today. And this is simple because today you're living what decision you made before. So if you make wrong decision, well, guess what's happening? If you made all the right decision, then all of a sudden things start to go the way you like. And that's the thing. So whatever you decide to do today is going to affect tomorrow. And that's where we have that. And then if you don't have a plan, say, oh, I'll go with the flow. Well, a lot of the time the flow is not good. So you got to make sure you adjust and have fun. To me, to have a plan, it doesn't have to be in concrete, but you have to sit down and define things, because then you learn to say no. A lot of people say yes to everything and they don't want to say yes to everything, right? It's like, I want to say no. So there's ways to define when you don't want to do something, it's not part of your life. You want to be able to have the tools to not say yes to everything in a loving way, not in a bad way. Okay, we can go to question now, Summer, if you want, because I could go on for another 20, 30 minutes, but I had to.
I know you. I know you. Anyone with questions? Floor is open. Raise your digital hand and pop in and ask your question. What do you have for Jean-Luc?
Well, everybody's shy.
3, 2, 1. Come on now.
What do we got? You understood everything?
Ron, there you are.
Okay, so I noticed you had the RV. Are you doing something in the genre of RVing?
Not anymore. That's not my thing anymore.
Okay, because I'm looking to start traveling around the country, renting out my house and doing that. So why aren't you doing it anymore?
It's not in my wheelhouse anymore. I did it for a while, and I got it out of my system, and now I got a big house I'm trying to sell, and I'll be traveling a different way once. Probably just my truck. I got a lot of people I know, like when I go across and I'll go visit Summer, well, she's got a room for me, so I don't need a Harvey. So it's like, yeah, but I did love the Harvey when I did it, but it's things that you get over it, or you enjoy it for what it is, and that's why it is. Like that was a passion, and now I did it and I loved it, and then like I say, then I got over it and saying now there's other things in my life I want.
How long did you do it?
I did for 3 or 4 years. I had my RV, or probably 5 years I had the RV. So I did some trips, and then it'd be parked for a while. And after it got parked for too long, I'd say, okay, time to sell it. But when I used it, it was fun. And that's the thing I think about. It's like when you do something, do it with joy. And then if it's not for the rest of your life, it's fine. But I did enjoy it, and I got good memories out of it. Right? Everything I teach, like do it with joy, doesn't mean you do it for life.
Right. No, that's a dream of mine, to live in Dallas for a month and in Colorado and just see the country.
So when are you going to start that?
I hope to start by December. I'm looking to either sell my house or rent my house out and start traveling. I have the RV and everything. It's just a matter of it's jumping out the boat and getting in the water, So
and that's the thing, the difference between a wish and a dream. The wish, like some people come here, like I speak different language, and they want to learn another language, or they want to play guitar, like I used to have the piano, same thing. Okay, when you start in your classes and they look at you, so well, in 10 years from now, when I say you in 10 years, you're going to wish the same thing. Right. But if you have a dream and you're making actions, then it's going to happen. You have to have action. Now, that's why I ask you when you're going to start, and you have a plan already. And that's what I work with a client. It's like, you have to have a plan. If it's just a wish, how important is it? If it's not that important for you to start classes, then take it out. Don't talk about it anymore. Just bring something else in that you want. Right?
Yeah.
Focus on your passions, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey,
Joe's questions.
Hey, Jean-Luc. A lot of people are not living a life by design. They're living a life by default. A lot of people are not living their dream. They're living a routine. And I work with people, to help them kind of create a dream business. But what would you tell somebody, or what kind of process would you work with somebody who's stuck? They're so stuck in their routine that they kind of forgot how to dream. What would you, for somebody that doesn't know their mission or purpose yet, how do you kind of get people unstuck where they can start dreaming again?
Well, you got to find the first thing is to remove the passion. Like, talk about passion. What is it that lights you up in the morning when you wake up, or in a daily life? What is it that kind of gets you a little bit? Because some people are so closed off. Like, you got to baby steps, right? Is there something that you see that kind of gets you a little heart, just one little step ahead, like, and then you have to start from somewhere and then build from there, right? And then also I've worked with some people that were closed off. Like, that's life. No, it's not. Right. Well, life happens. It's life. Like, I won't say the other words we usually, life is a whatever. No, it's not. And then you have to start slow because they're so tight and negative. Then you just got okay, one step at a time. And it's a bit long process, some of them, but I did it. I've done quite a few of those, and I love the result because also it's like, it's not the same person when they open up the heart and just like, wow. Right. And thanks, Joe. Thanks for that question.
Oh, thank you.
That was a good question. Yeah. And it's not really a question per se, but you guys, last week I did something with Jean-Luc. It's called the Wheel of Life. I just want you to tell people about it. It's kind of
it's in a VIP, I think, right?
Setting, yes. Oh, yes, get the VIP. I didn't remember that.
So it's a Wheel of Life that I created, and there's 5 sections, but 10 questions, and we'll go from 1 to 10. And Summer is the best person ever did the Wheel of Life.
Oh my God.
Her number was so high on her life, but it's something you do. We're supposed to do every 3 months, but it just shows you where you are in your life. Like, it's a quick, powerful tool. And I did it with her, and mine was not as great as Summer, but it shows you what you have to work on for the next 3 months. And it's so easy and so powerful. Like, sometimes people try to get complicated, but there's tools out there that are so simple, and the power behind them is just crazy. I love it.
Yeah, I go with every time I go to a workshop or meeting or something, I go with the attitude that I know everything, I don't need this. But then sometimes things blow my mind.
Yeah,
like the Wheel of Life was one of those. Orly, go for it.
Hi, Jean-Luc. One of the things, I mean, first of all, the Wheel of Life, I also know it from Esther Hicks, from Abraham Hicks. They also use the Wheel of Life. It's pretty cool. So I love that. It's fun. And it's fun to do regularly, because everything just changes sometimes for different aspects of your life. So that was one comment. The other thing that I have for you is that Joe had an amazing question just before this. And how do you get people unstuck? What I would like to ask you is, how do you get people to find joy and happiness in what they do on a regular basis? Some people have lost their joy.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to take my 8-week class. No, just kidding.
I will.
You should, Orly, actually.
No, the joy is because people are stuck. Like for example, if I use a woman example, a 55-year-old that also has got 3 or 4 kids and just totally dedicated, and that suddenly she wakes up and what the hell's going on? Like, he's that old, there's my life, and I have no more joy because she's given to her husband, to the kids and everybody else around her. And that's when we stop. Okay, let's stop this. What is it that belongs to you? And man, there's a lot of stuff that don't belong to her. Okay, we start pushing and pushing, and then start looking. And a lot of time I do a meditation that goes when you were young, because when you're 5 to 7, you knew what you like, right? If you didn't like something, well, talk about a tantrum, right? So we got to bring that child back. That's one thing. Like, I won't give the farm away here, but there's different tools I use that will bring that back and bring the little girl back in. It's like, that's what you used to love. And then we go through the steps. Like, sometime somebody at 20 or 25 years old discovered horses. All of a sudden they go with horses, they start riding horses. Oh my God, they just love horses. They didn't have that when they were young. That's why you don't stay in one place. Then we go through life. Okay, what is it that happened to you in these times? And a lot of time, if they're ready, because I'm from corporate world, so I can work with people from corporate world that not woohoo stuff, or I can go because I do past life regression and I do emotional healing. I do a lot of stuff. It depends how far they want to go, and then we can bring that, right? And find out and get rid of the stuff that's somebody else's. Like, after you're in the 50, the kids are old enough now. Okay, you take care of your stuff, I'll take care of my stuff, but always in the loving way. So when they start standing up to the kids, because they're so spoiled, because most of us did that. I do that with my grandkids, but I don't have to pay the price. Just send them home again. But then get my daughters to deal with it. It's like, but the thing is, you start doing the work, you start questioning, you start having the tools to take care of yourself first. And people forget, especially women. Women are the worst at giving up their stuff. Fill your cup first. How can we fill your cup first? That when somebody asks you something, you say yes. You will say yes from a loving place, and you'll say no from a loving place. Right. And that's I could go on and on.
I know. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for the question.
Thank you for the question, Orly. Also, Marie wants to know, what's the 8-week program all about? And I think everybody should listen to this, because this guy is powerful beyond what he looks like. He might look like a nice kitten, but no, he's really, really the thing. So please tell us about that 8-week class.
Well, the 8-week, like I say, basically we start to learn, how do you define your passion? And it's the first step that needs to happen before we do anything else. And then from there, we'll sort it out. And then we kind of make sure we sort by all areas of your life, not one area. Not like me, it was work. And then we start to learn about managing your thoughts and the power of the word, right? And this is very, very powerful, because it's the basis for law of attraction. And then how do you reprogram yourself? Because we got 100,000 thoughts a day. 80% are the same as yesterday, and 80% are negative, because the way we were raised. How do we change that? So we had to work on that. And there's exercise and there's the other things we do. And then we keep going with this. And then we start with a 1-year vision. And then we go to a 5-year vision. As every week we can expand by having the tools and start really defining, removing, because when you start removing the passion that belongs to you, it will be a real strong help for the limiting belief that we're going to remove and replace. And then your vision start to get clearer and clearer. And now learning all the law of attraction. So to me, the 8-week is so great, because you don't have to remember anything. Like some classes, you have to have a book and go look. And no, this one is built on every step, and it's yours. It's you create it. And that's why I have the anchor on my picture, because you create that anchor. So create the resilience. At the end of 8 weeks, you got resilience. And when things happen to you, instead of start crying, you say, okay, why did I attract this? And what do I do to fix it? What am I supposed to learn from this? right? So it's a different approach with life. It is not always easy, right? So I was in the middle of some house. I had to clean my house. I got a 6-bedroom house that had beautiful memories. And then when I had to sell and clean it and get rid of stuff and start packing, I ended up with a major hip problem and knee problem on my right side. So I look at emotional healing. Well, it's all the emotions. And now I dealt with it. Now my hip and my knee is all right. So I can start running again. And that's what I understand all that, right? So 8 weeks is kind of a lot of things in there. So, and that's why I'm almost finished my 1-year program, because there's a support thing that you need to really become ingrained in understanding all you attract, every word that comes out your mouth, right? It's one thing to know about it and kind of practice a bit, but it's one thing to really get supported and really become that. So every time, and the most annoying part is when somebody else is taking it with you. And every time you say a word that shouldn't be there to correct you, it's, if you have to have a lot of patience, because, but then you start getting it, you start paying attention. Whatever comes out your mouth, it's what's in your head. So now how do you fix the thoughts? You just pay attention to what comes out your mouth. That tells you exactly the thoughts are going through your head. And now we got to start working on that. Reprogram yourself, right? In the old days, we used to say change a cassette, but now kids don't know what a cassette is.
What's a cassette? Yeah. I mean, just kidding.
But yeah.
Please put that 8-week class in the chat so people can follow up. I'm pretty sure some people would be interested.
Well, you can go to my website, and I can. Well, the 30-minute. I don't know if they have the link there. You can do a 30-minute call with me that will. That we can.
No, you have to put the links in the chat.
Yeah. Let me find the links. I thought you had all the links. I'll find the links. Give me a second here. I think I already put some of my links, but I'll put right here. Yeah. So to me, yeah, 30-minute conversation. No obligation. I can answer more questions.